These people are, they're cultural icons who are paid to
That's
speak
a very
with
important
authority,
point.
right?
Not just that, paid by the pharmaceutical companies.
Paid by the pharmaceutical companies, the media, everybody else to put out a certain meme, a certain message, and so you shouldn't be surprised. I mean that's just,
Does it drive you crazy though? Like when you see that, if you were
I don't
flipping
know
through
if
the
it
channels.
drives me crazy. Yeah, it does. I mean, it drives me crazy, but I'm so old and cynical and jaded, and it's like it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, I think the only solution is, I'm not sure what the solution is. The solution is to get the right word out to people somehow, and that's what things like your program and other channels
I feel like
try to do. And I like to plug Arrowwood. You probably know about Arrowwood. Wonderful people who are doing a good job of bringing actual facts, to the table. And so we need more resources like that.
Yes.
And they're not pro or anti-drug.
Right.
They're pro-fact.
Yes.
Which is what I admire about them. And,
yes. The trip reports are very helpful for
very helpful. And they will say, the dangers are this, you need to be aware of these possible hazards, and that's the only thing. Education, the only solution to this is just say no, KNOW. That's the thing, and this is, and
that's
it's all about
T-shirt,
education.
Dude. You're missing
right?
out on some money.
Yeah,
should be selling
I
that
didn't
T-shirt.
invent it. Believe me.
Whose quote is that? Just say
KNOW. I think it's Timothy Leary.
It should be online. Someone should have a Cafe Press shirt ready to go.
Yeah,
I'll be able to get off on Amazon.com right after this.
But
and buy it.
the thing is, it's really all about education. It's about empowering people to make informed decisions about what kind of substances they're going to use, under what circumstances, what their intentions are. There's a protocol. There's a way to use these things in a positive way and a way to use them destructively. I'm fond of. I always tell my students, there is no such thing as a bad drug or a good drug. They don't have moral qualities. Human beings have moral qualities. There are plenty of opportunities to misuse a drug or use a drug in a bad way. That's not the drug's fault. It simply has the pharmacological chemical properties that it has. Right?
Poison isn't evil. It's just poison.
And it's all about how people use it. Right, it's human behavior is what we need to focus on, and that's what drug education doesn't focus on. It talks about the drugs almost as though they were demons or pathogens, or like they had some kind of independent existence and they were an evil virus or something. They are not. It's the way people use them, and what needs to happen with drug education is, they don't want to admit this, but here's the bald truth on it. It's not about telling people do not use drugs, right? I mean, they say that's got to be the message, and that's the only message. True drug education has got to tell people how to use drugs. That's the difference. If you choose to use a psychoactive substance, then here's a way to use it. Here's what you do to maximize the benefit of it and minimize the harm. It's simply that simple. But drug education you can't institutionalize programs that are going to tell people how to use drugs.
Isn't that funny though?
It's funny. I mean, it's stupid. We expect people to learn how to drive a car. We encourage responsible drinking, whatever that is. So in that one instant, we say we encourage responsible usage. Not that people use it in a responsible way.
Well, I think we're big on people figuring out shit for themselves, which is why we send people out into the world essentially with almost no knowledge whatsoever about sex and love. When you're young, you just sort of have to stumble into it at your most vulnerable and confused time.
Same issues apply
Yes.
to sex,
Yeah.
right? Sex education and drug education are jokes.
Well, I think
The way they're currently practiced.
That's a joke, and what's also a joke is just the raising of human beings. I think so many people in this country are being raised by people who are essentially children their entire life. They never really did develop a true understanding of themselves or of their place in the world or an objective sense
Right.
of this whole thing and
Right.
the great mystery of it all that's never
Right.
conveyed. And then they raise children. The children have to somewhere or another wake up and go, okay, nobody knows what the fuck is really going on here. This is we live in a world of madness and momentum, and it just
Right.
continues in the same path, even though everyone knows it's crazy.
But can you imagine? I mean, how many people can step out of that framework? You know, it's rare.
It's
I
not
mean,
enough-
if you're
we don't have enough time.